What's up, and welcome back everyone to another episode of Ether 1. We just finished the game in my last video. We saw the ending, but as you can see, we only did 5 out of 20 projectors. So, as I mentioned, I want to go back and try to work on some of these projectors and kind of, I guess, show how I do it. I actually re-recorded this already, and I'm kind of recording this intro afterwards. And it took a long time. I recorded a lot of footage, and basically just I'm going to cut it all up and show you guys pretty much how to solve the projectors and stuff inside the area. But I did want to see what's down here also. I realized after I finished the game there's so many unanswered questions. Like for instance the dark room over here. This door was open and I didn't even realize it. But as you can see in here, all the photos from those in-between levels we did are all up on, or all hanging up on clothespins up here. So everything's here except for the last, or the one we didn't do, Brimclif Mines. For some reason it never opened up and we never got into it. But as you can see, there's a missing picture here from Pinwheel Village, I believe. So there's some we missed taking a picture of, but everything's here as far as the pictures go. You can see this is from the first area, and then this is from the last area, and there was that missing picture. Oh, sorry, this is the first area. And yeah, so there's the pictures here. There's also that safe I never opened up over here, and it looks like you can put some dials in here, but we don't have any. Actually, the ones we collected are actually not the right ones. They're like green or something. I'm colorblind, so you have to forgive me for that. But those dials are red, so these ones don't work that I'm about to pick up over here. So we'll have to find some special ones within the levels, maybe? I don't know. I want to try to get this game 100% complete, but we'll see what happens, I guess. So let's just jump right into the game here. So the first place I wanted to start is the Brimclif Industrial Centre. We spent a lot, or not a lot of time here, but this is the next area. We did all the projectors for the Pinwheel Harbour. So if you haven't seen that already, check back into my footage from before. And I did like a video, I think 2 videos worth of all the projectors in Pinwheel Harbour, which was kind of frustrating. But I didn't cut them up like I'm gonna do for this one. I was just searching forever and cut up a little bit, but not too much. So the first thing I definitely want to try here is to go back and try that valve system again, because I turned the valves the wrong way, or turned the wrong ones on, and I kind of blew the fuse and didn't know what to do at that point. I couldn't open the fuse box. But then if you saw on, I think, video number 9, maybe 9 or 10, around that area, at the title screen when I first start recording, you could see the fuse box open and you could see the code in there, and I think it's like 0919 or something like that, but I'll show it in a second here. But let's go start there first. So let's go over there. Alright, we finally found this place. It took a while. I think the hardest thing is actually retracing your steps and trying to find things that you saw in the previous video. Anyway, we have our fuse box here, and I didn't remember the code at first. I think I type in like 0919, and as you can see, it's not going to work. So I actually had the numbers mixed up a little bit, so I fix it here, and type in 1909 is the actual combination, and that will provide us access to the fuse box where we can collect our fuse. So we gotta take this out, and honestly the real way to do this is to examine it and find out what voltage it is, but I forgot about that at the time. So I did a lot of trial and error and found the right fuse, but you just gotta run around the corner here. There's all the fuses here. So I just took one at a time because I wasn't thinking. But eventually I got the right one, and this is actually the correct one that I get here to put into the fuse box, and then everything resets. It's a little loud. So all the wheels are turned back. So now we can do the right ones, which add up to 18, which is the 10, the 5, and the 3. 18. The green light is on, and we get hit the switch, and it doesn't blow a fuse. Now, I originally thought that this was gonna...
in sickness and in health. No matter what comes our way, we'll always have each other.
I thought it was gonna unlock the mine, but it actually did not. So, let's start our first projector here. We are in the ore tramming, and this chart is very important. You gotta fill in the weight and the name that are missing on here. So, in order to do that, you first gotta check out the gauges over here. Actually, before we do that, there is this contraption is pretty familiar to you if you watch my videos. It just drops the material into the different bays. But to activate it, you got to turn this dial on, the pressure valve. And I'm not going to go through all the steps for that. I had those in the other video, and there's information everywhere. But to use this, you have to choose which place to go, and it'll go to that area. But the actual operation of this is, after it's powered on, it's in its initial starting position, so you press the down arrow here, and it'll go collect some material. It'll pick it up. You choose a button where you want it to go, which position, then you flip the switch, and it'll take it to that specified destination, and then you hit the release button over here, and it'll drop the stuff in there. So you actually have to drop material in every single section to advance the story. I did think it's a little out of order, but anyway, the pressure gauge here, you want to find for number 5, Sean V, and just fill that in, which is 75 up here. And then the last thing you want to know is the name of the person in number 3, and you could find that in a lot of different ways, but I think the easiest way is to go back to your case, and you should have a lot of material for it, but I have one note that'll show like all the different captains of the areas, and just process of elimination, and the one missing is Nick B. So you just got to fill in Nick B's name on that chart, and we should be all good. Now, I actually make a mistake here and hit the M on accident.
The lines on our faces
but
changed, but our love remains as strong as the day we met.
It triggers it anyway. So, yeah, I don't know. It's one of many glitches I found in this recording. So I'm just going to fix this to make it say Nick B again, so it actually look correct. And Nick B. So it's not going to trigger anything because we already did it somehow glitchy-wise. But the projector is just one part away. So the next part involves this little map here, this little chart. As you can see, the legend is tin and A and iron is B. So we need our trusty little knocker hammer. And it corresponds to the pipes that are right behind it. I didn't actually realize the tin A, iron B thing. I just kind of guessed left to right is A to B. So we got A and B. Now what we need to do is receive some materials from the Brimclif mine. So we want to do A twice, then B, and then A. So let's go ahead and hit that. So A, B, A. And as you can hear, we got some rumbling happening. And look at that, all the material comes. Now here's the another glitch that I kind of ran into, is that I was supposed to do this part first, actually. And it was supposed to be taking that crane, taking the material from here, and then dropping it in. So it was actually taking nothing and dropping it everywhere. So it didn't really work out as planned. But the projector is finished, so let's go ahead and activate that.
It's such a shame that a condition such as this can have such devastating effects on the lives of so many. But they seem to have enjoyed each other's company to the fullest whenever possible, and that's an inspiring thought. I think the way in which Jean's reacting to Thomas in our sessions proves their love for one another. I certainly think it's having a large impact on the treatment so far.
So as you can hear, everything's kind of moving and churning in this area. We've actually activated this area finally. If you see the 4 little areas with the red lights next to them, this light is now green because we finished activating it. So our goal is to activate all 4 areas and make them all green lights. So 1 down, we got a few more to go. So let's move on to the next area. Alright, before we go on, I wanted to quickly show you guys here. After we got the artifact and restored that victory shaft thing, the staircase got opened up again. We can go in here now. You can see there's another projector and this like crazy chart. We're going to get into this a little later in the video towards the end because it's another really complicated...
Years worth of mail and not a single reply. That must be so much harder to deal with.
Another kind of complicated build. But there is a dial here for their combination lock. You can see it's red, so you know that it's the one for our case safe. So it's kind of cool we actually found one of those and we know what they look like. I'm going to save this hammer because I'm going to lose it otherwise. For some reason I thought I had a second one. I lost that one apparently. Anyway, there's one little note here. It's a blank page we can put into a typewriter. You know how we do. So type that up. And I'll give you guys a second to read it if you want to. La la la. So anyway, this is a little area that we're going to save towards the end of the video. Hopefully if I can do this in one video. We'll see how it goes. But there's really not much else to collect here. There's just some complicated projector parts. But we'll go through that a little later. I promise. So, on to the next area. Alright, this one we're going to start in the Arsenic house. This P. Marie lady office, we want to get into there. So, before we do any of this Arsenic stuff, we got to get that combination. You see the projectors in here. Now, in the previous video, we actually turned on the pressure valves, of course, and turned on these furnaces. You can see the fires lit in there, but nothing ever happened with it, which I thought was really strange. But of course, we're going to do something with it now. So, let's go figure out that combination. So in order to find that, we have to go into the management office here, where the warden is. And you can see we've been here a few times, and we even got the little coffee cleaner granules here, or a coffee machine. We got to use that in a second, but let's just store it for now. The one thing I was trying to do is try to fill up the boss's coffee mug. This is a unrelated thing, but we were never able to do it because we couldn't find the right coffee mug apparently. But we're going to solve that problem and all the other problems. And before we get to P. Marie's office, there is one little thing we got to find, and
I'm not sure
that leads to like several other little things to find. So let's check the desk in the other room here. So when we go into this room next to it, we see this drawer, which I guess I never opened because there's a hidden compartment here with all the codes for everything. Got John, Oliver, Ben, Sean, P. Marie, everybody. So before we go back to P. Marie's office, I want to go and open up these lockers since they're right outside here. So let's just go down the line and see which ones we can't open. There's nothing here. And nothing on this side. This is locked, okay. And that's empty. And that's open. Okay, here the lockers are. So we want to find the code here. And I'm just going to type all these in. You guys can watch as I'm going along. I'll refer to the notes as we go. And we got to open all these lockers. One we're actually really looking for is Sean's locker, because Sean is the one that's been having all these problems with the warden and accused of stealing stuff and all this crazy drama with him. So we really want to see what's in his locker, because I know it's going to be something really important. Probably something he stole. Sure enough, we got a lot of things. So there's a map, which will... this is really important. I figured this out by myself, but it'll show you a weak structure area. There's also the warden's mug. So we're going to do the mug first. This is the mug we needed for the coffee.
How did we get here?
So I'm going to go ahead and put this
I can't
in
remember.
here. And fill it with coffee.
Sat in the front stands, the view was perfect.
Now, we actually have another glitch we kind of ran into in this game, because I go and put the mug on the desk, but nothing happens. But it's supposed to happen, and yeah, we'll get to that in a second. We'll revisit it and I'll explain what happened. So the only other locker that has anything of interest is this last one here, and we'll open this one up. And there's a note, just a standard note we've seen hundreds of times, but just some more information for you if you need it. And then we also got this fancy black light. Now, I did look up later on that you could actually use the black light where that fuse box is, and the code will show up on the wall, maybe, I think? I don't know. But I found it through the title screen, so I think I'm more inventive. So anyway, next thing we want to do, before, I want to look at P. Marie's locker door, but we want to use this hammer for something. And the weak structure map actually refers to a point over here where there's a crack in the wall in the shower, which I saw, and I put 2 and 2 together, and you could break it with the hammer.
Erupted. Moments later, another cheer.
Now, in here, there's only one little thing besides the gas mask, which we have like 100 gas masks. But, I guess we should just take it anyway. But first we gotta put our trusty hammer down. So I never really figured out what the gas masks are for. They might be used in like the Brimclif Mines, but I never got there. I never figured out how to get there yet, which we'll also address later in the video. Anyway, grab this little bottle. It's actually a little bottle of arsenic.
Stood clutching the ball tightly in one hand. Hey, this is for you. Hold on to it. Everyone else wants it, but it's yours now.
Nifty. Now, what you're supposed to do with this arsenic is drop it off in any of those arsenic disposals you see around the map. Because I've seen those, and I know you can put things into them. But here I just try like, oh, put arsenic in the boss's coffee. That didn't work. And then I have the brilliant idea of like, hey, I have a better idea of how to poison the boss, or the warden. Let's go put arsenic in the coffee machine. Maybe that's what we have to do, is kill the boss, because the projector is not complete yet. So this is where you put the coffee cleaner or whatever in the side here. So I put arsenic in there, obviously. And very surprised I'm able to do that. And then proceed to go grab the boss's coffee mug. Like so. And get some poison coffee for the boss to enjoy. Because obviously this will fix the projector, right? And it does work. In actuality, what you're supposed to do... again, another glitch with the game. It like forgot the fact that I had cleaned the coffee machine already. So I had to basically, quote-unquote, clean it again. Even though I didn't use the right stuff. And you put the mug on the desk and everything's hunky-dory. So, now, on to P. Marie. Because this project is already done. Let's do this one.
Jim has been here again today. We've all sat together and talked about his childhood memories and events that shaped his life as parents. Some slight progress there. On a related note, we've been given 1 month to show our hard data and prove that the therapy is making a significant difference. I feel that acceptance is a real possibility now, but perhaps I need to push harder.
Alright, now I actually tried to destroy the arsenic in here, but it won't let me do it. Again, another glitch, so I can't figure out why. I do this later in the video, but you have to actually close it and then open it and then put it in. I know it makes like no sense, but anyway, that's how you destroy the arsenic, but it doesn't really affect anything here. Now here's a structural map, shows where I broke in the shower. You can see where it's like marked down there. The other marks where it's another broken part of the wall, we could like go into the other areas. So, let's go back to the Arsenic house and take care of the P. Marie stuff. So we're back here at the Arsenic house in P. Marie's office. We'll type in the code. We got 2218.
Dumping the rest of the savings into hospital treatments won't make this all go away.
There's not a whole lot in here. Just 3 bottles. They're all the same bottle though. It's just a flammable liquid, basically. And like keep away from open flames, so I have a really good place we could put it. I'm just going to leave my arsenic here. I'm going to carry that around for a while because I don't destroy it until later on. But I'll take care of it. A little note for safety, and then what you want to do is take the bottles and go back to where the furnace is that we already turned on before. And over here. And open up one, throw in the bottle.
Starting to wear on all of us, grinding us down day by day. This would all be easier to deal
Everything's
with
nice and
back
blue
in.
now. Then we gotta do the same thing and throw another bottle into the other furnace. Like so. And now this one is almost done. Just gonna close these grates. There's just one more thing we have to do, and that's involving the valve downstairs. So let's go do that really quick. Alright, the last part is directly beneath where we just were for the Arsenic house. And I never really understood this. I think this might be glitched also. But you can see it's like glowing blue now over here. And I change the speed, nothing happens, I don't know. It's supposed to be spinning around, but I don't think it actually spins because I don't think it actually moves. So I'm like trying to play around with which like setting to put it on. I have no idea. Honestly, I think it was like either setting 5 or like the slowest one. I'm not sure. But I hit the switch and then all of a sudden the blue light's gone, which I'm still not understanding why that was. I get stuck on the ceiling every time too. So the thing stopped glowing, and then we just like drag it all the way down. All the way down to 1. And still nothing happens. So I think, okay, I'll just flip the switch again.
Tell them tomorrow.
Ta-da.
They'll understand. This is the best thing for everyone.
So I don't know, that one might be glitched too. And you could hear that everything is on now, so the projector is all finished and ready to go. So let's go ahead and take a look at it.
Today was a difficult one. We're using a medical wristband that was kept from the hospital in America. I think that seeing a hospital band and being in a facility like this was very hard to comprehend. This time in life represents having to leave America and the life they made together. It can't have been easy to just pack up and leave as quickly as they did, and especially having to leave Jim behind. We're getting to the more recent memories now, and I feel that we're getting closer in every session. I'm going to make our sessions daily from now on, until we get a result.
Alright, I think we have one more projector to do. As you can see, these lights are now green, except for mill management. Actually, there's one more. The mill management, we gotta do that one, and then there's that one up in the Victory Tower thing we gotta do. So let's go over to mill management and start trying to figure out that solution. Okay, so we're here in mill management. This was locked before, but like things are moving, and you don't understand why. I already turned on the pressure, I already moved the things and moved the hooks, but then I reactivated this gauge, and everything triggered
Not many
again.
people ever saw the inside of that office,
Or everything finally triggered.
and the ones that had weren't around very long to talk about it.
This area is where a mill manager would run his operations. He spent most of his time looking down over the industrial area from his office. I've researched that an accident here halted all production in the mines for a time. I suggest you keep searching for anything that might be
So
related.
these doors finally opened, so now we can go up. So let's go do that now. You can see the...
I'll help you from here onward.
Well,
What you do with yourself is up to you now. You can plan your own path.
if you saw like those generator type things, you can move the plate over and then hit the button and the hook will attach to it. So you got to do that first before you hit the pressure valve, I guess. I think I did the valves first and then did the hooks afterwards and never triggered it, which is kind of unfortunate. So I think there's some kind of order you need to be in. But anyway, we're up here. We got another projector to solve downstairs. We're going to take a look around out here. We haven't been up here yet.
You know I don't like heights.
And yes, she's afraid of heights. Not afraid of arsenic everywhere, though. It's poisonous, you know. Anyway, there's some useful stuff on the wall. Barometer, we're going to need that very shortly. Actually, we found this earlier, and I was wondering when that was going to come into play, but it's right up here we have to figure out. So let's go upstairs and start this problem. So, we got a board needs to be filled out. We got a safe, don't know the code. What else we got? It's weather testing machines out here for like wind and all that stuff. We gotta use that barometer, and basically we're trying to figure out the best day to ship our shipment. So we gotta grab a piece of paper from in here, put that into the barometer, and turn it on. Now it's going to draw our little diagram for us. We have to learn how to read this, of course, which I don't do right away, so I apologize for the ignorance up here. But I'll kind of walk you through my thoughts as I go here. So I got this all written out, so we're all good. I thought, great, job done. So the projector has got most of it together already, which is great. Always got to play some music to help you guys with the mood. Last thing is this chalkboard up here. I just wanted to see if this will move, and it does not. We also have another combination lock, which we can put in that safe over there. So let's put the barometer graph down for a second. It's so massive. And grab our lock. And it's not one for the case, so it's this one down here. I thought originally you could like choose whether or not to unlock these, but I guess not. Anyway, we got to find out when the shipment is going to and when it's going to be shipped. So if you refer to paperwork you found earlier and the barometer chart here, you could fill out this information. But it's a little tricky. Like I try to guess the day first, and I'm trying to think what day it is, since it's always May 1st in our game here. But I realized it started on the 15th, so I'll put in like May 15th. So Sunday the 15th, because I don't know any better. Obviously it was not correct, as you might see in a little bit. And I don't know, that was just my first guess. And then we're trying to figure out where it was shipped to. So to figure that out, you actually have to go back to the case, and you should have some paperwork saved telling you where it's being shipped. So let's look down here in the case and get that information for you. You probably found it earlier, but it's going to be this big mess of papers here, all the way to the right. I will slowly get there. Okay, so trying to find out what all this stuff says. It's all about the order information, order shipment. This just talks about like we gotta make sure we ship it on a good day, which I didn't pick up at first. But it's all the shipment advice. And you can see in the map it's got USA with an X on it. That's where it's being shipped to. But also if you, like I never really figured out the real answer to this problem, because if you look at the piece of paper towards the top up here, you can see if you look really closely it says New Jersey on it. So it's shipping to New Jersey, USA, or NJ, USA. I have no idea what the correct thing to put in there. I actually try like all the combinations. I just type in USA, I type in New Jersey, I type in NJ, but there's no comma, so I do like NJ space USA. So I'm not really sure what the correct way to go in this is, but it does work, and it may be another one of those famous glitches that I've run into a lot in this video, as you've seen. But we go back to the chalkboard here, and we try to type in New Jersey, but that doesn't trigger anything. Of course, we have the wrong day too, so I never know, right? So New Jersey does not work. So I gotta back it all out again. And back it all out again. And we're just gonna go with USA. Then we gotta figure out what the day is, because I didn't do that right. So the best way to do that, and you gotta grab this chart here, and it'll tell you that the higher pressure is the way to go. I actually guessed the lower pressure on my own. So I said Tuesday, but it's actually not Tuesday, it's actually Monday. So going through almost every day of the week here, and I finally get it right. And of course, I backspace and it triggers everything.
It's meant to be a keepsake, to remind you of your time here. We wish you all the best.
So again, another weird glitch with this puzzle. Like I just started backspacing Tuesday out, and it triggered a solution to it. So I just type in Monday the 16th, even though it's already done, just to kind of show the correct way to do it. Again, I don't know why it's messing up so much. I don't even know if I typed the right date in there. Anyway, so this projector is finished. Let's go.
I'm referencing the diary once more, and this watch was a gift at the age of 16. As far as I can tell, it might represent a sense of freedom or realization of self-awareness in the world. When I strapped it to the patient's wrist, there was a positive reaction. Although unable to understand how to read the correct time, it was obvious to me that the sensation of the watch on the skin was well received.
Alright, you can hear everything's kind of whirring and buzzing again. All the lights are green, so we're all set to go, right? Yeah, but not really. There's still the matter of the Victory Tower. I'm going to take my Arsenic with me, because, like I said, I carry it everywhere with me. I just got to dispose of it in the Arsenic disposal. I don't know if I'm going to show it. It's very simple. Just put in any one of the ones you see around the map. If it doesn't work, just close it, open it, and put it back in. And it should be good. Anyway, let's go up to the Victory Tower. Alright, this will be the last projector of the Brimclif Industrial Centre area. So let's see what we got here. This is almost together. We just need 2 more parts to go. So the 2 things you have to do is this big chart is one of them. And I'll just explain to you how to do this, and I'm not going to show out the whole process. So what you have to do is kind of run around the whole map here, and you see these little, these big smokestacks. Some of them have letters and numbers on them, like this one says J4 on it. You have to go around this whole area and find all the ones that have a letter number combination on them. And then once you do that, you can go input an X on those cross sections. So when the J and the 4 meet, you put an X there, and same thing with the rest of them. But before we get into all that, there's one thing we could do first. If you remember this familiar mechanism here, we had no idea what to do with this. But there's 4 areas to go to, and also turn the power on and setting the gauge to a certain amount. And what you want to do is set that amount to, it's up to 12. And the way you find that is when you go around the map, you see those little like ropes you can pull on that say like 10 out of 12 or 12 out of 12 on there. Those are actually the numbers you're looking for. So outside every little of these 4 areas, there's going to be one of those bells you can pull on. I mean, not really bells, but like this one outside of middle management is 3 out of 12. So we know that one's 3. And instead of showing you where all of them are, I mean, you've seen them 100 times, you want to set them as follows. The miner's dry is going to be level 7, which actually I had them backwards at first here, but miner's dry is level 7. The arsenic house is up to number 12. The ore tramming is going to be 10, and the mill management is at 3. Now the arsenic house and the ore tramming might be reversed. I'm not sure, but I can verify that if I'm wrong. So everything worked. I don't know if it glitched, but everything seemed okay. So let's tackle the semi-easier one, but harder to kind of figure out, is the smokestacks. So when you run around and see all the smokestacks, you'll see like the J4 right outside of mill management, and you want to look for the ones that are smoking, because the easiest, or one of the easier ones to find, is a C7, I believe, and that's actually not the right one. I actually put in C7 at first, but since it wasn't smoking, that wasn't the right one to do. So there should be 4 towers smoking. So instead of running around and finding all of them, let's just cut to where I actually type in the correct answer here. Okay, so as you can see, I have listed on here the A5, the C7, and the J4 that I found. The C7 is actually wrong, so we gotta take that out and put the C4 in there, and then D11, and then that's all of them.
What a journey. What an adventure. The gap seems so much bigger now, though. Hopefully it'll all be over soon.
Projector's ready to go. Let's see what we get.
Just after 11 p.m. I was called out to see my patient.
And we get a trophy.
I was told they were getting very upset and shouting about some postcards. I had them in my possession and took them with me immediately. I think it's worth noting that until this point, I hadn't used them in any of our sessions or even spoken of them. It's fantastic that there's still a strong enough emotional connection with the past to recall such a poignant memory. I only hope there are some more recent memories that might make this method more relevant as we progress. That's all for tonight. Hopefully more progress will be made tomorrow.
Alright, there is one more thing that well, I guess 2 more things. I want to destroy that arsenic. I will show that really quick, just to show the mess up kind of glitch I had to go through there. So here we are back in front of the arsenic disposal. So you just got to put it in there, and it didn't do anything. So I tried doing it again. Didn't work. So I had to close it, and then open it, and then destroy it, and then everything was fine.
Framed in a little glass case with an inscription. Best day ever.
Yippee. Now the last thing I wanted to do also is this safe here. I realized that I didn't open this up yet, and I didn't look at this mug, and at the bottom you can see 0112 is the combination, which I didn't put 2 and 2 together and look at the mug, so oops. So we'll just open that up really quick so we can just finish this area. 2. And we get another knocker.
Andrew turned to Harry, his face looking very serious now. "You'll have to go home, little man," he said, winking so that Rob couldn't see.
Now, before we close out the video, there was one more glitch I had to go through here. You see the Brimclif Mine, we're still not able to get in here. If this is the right entrance, this door is still not open. I'm not sure how. This door is still not open, obviously, because we haven't been there yet, so the music box isn't opened yet. Everything else is kind of opened up and ready to go. I just can't get into the Brimclif Mines. I've actually tried so many ways to get in, and I could not figure it out. So I eventually gave up trying to get over there, and I thought, let me just backtrack, and I'll go back to Pinwheel Harbour. So I'll go check out this out. So I got back here in Pinwheel Harbour, and I decide, well, I can't get to the mines directly. Let me try going through Pinwheel Village, since I know there's a route to get over there, and I know I can get through there. So I tried going through Pinwheel Village, and then the game freezes, and just nothing happens. So I'm like, what the hell? So eventually I reset the game and try to load my game, or no, I continue my game, and then it freezes again, which you'll see in 1 second here. And then I have to turn it off again, and then I try like, well, let me load my game and see if that does any better, and still just frozen. So apparently I broke the game. This is the continue one I tried. So I guess that'll be the end of our series here, since I can't get this to work. And I really don't want to start from the beginning of this game. That would take too long. So other than that, it was a fun game. See, I tried to load my save game. It just goes to black screen, and it just starts loading, but then nothing ever happens. So you get to enjoy this nice black screen while I finish my video here. So again, a great series. Thanks for everyone for watching and all the support. I wish I could finish the game to completion, but I mean, I really wish I knew what happened at the end of the game a little bit more. But overall, it's a pretty good experience. It's a pretty fun game. And I definitely enjoyed playing it for you guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching it also. I hope the winner of our contest enjoyed the copy of the game. If they have gotten back to me by now, as of this video recording, they have not. So we'll see what happens with that situation. But otherwise, I'm looking forward to starting a new series on my channel, a couple new games, and we'll see how it goes from there. But until next time, we'll see you later. Take care.